Samurai Bringer originally caught my eye with its interesting visuals and awesome character design. The idea of being a badass samurai from actual Japanese history got me really excited. But as I began playing, I started to notice the combat system was really in depth. And as I played longer, I started to realize it's really complicated. I mean this in a good way, of course. So let me try and explain how it works. Enemies drop combat scrolls that literally have a specific action tied to them. So you'll have a scroll of dash, a scroll of jump, or a scroll of reverse slash. At first, you can only equip a limited amount of scrolls to each action slot, but as you complete challenges, that number goes up and allows for a lot more creativity. So you'll start out doing a simple slash, and then later you'll be throwing screen-clearing blades of wind, or jumping 50 feet in the air and slamming into the ground with lightning exploding all around you. And all of these attacks are programmed using these combat scrolls. Now, if creating your own attacks seems like a headache, don't worry. By defeating generals, you'll unlock them as playable characters that come with their own pre-made attacks. So you can actually just use the general as is, or take one of their attack combos and pair it with another character. My only real issue with Samurai Bringer is the end game. After about 10 hours of playing, I was finally able to defeat the final boss, but I didn't really feel gratified fighting it. So this is the final boss, and basically the Hydra heads will constantly change their element. So you have to keep going into your inventory and reprogramming your attacks so that you can adjust the element that you're using on your attacks to be the weakness of the Hydra heads. For a game that's all about fast-paced action, the final boss battle felt like I spent most of my time in a clunky menu system rather than fighting. So if they could adjust that so that the battle felt a little bit more skill-based rather than menu-focused, I think that I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But aside from that one issue, I have nothing but good things to say about Samurai Bringer and would recommend it to anyone. I mean, come on, this game is only $10. Now, another thing I do gotta mention is that Samurai Bringer is a roguelike, which means that when you die, you end up losing some form of progress. Honestly, I would barely even call this game a roguelike because the only thing that you really lose is when you go out and defeat generals, you'll get pieces of their gear that end up giving you certain buffs. And when you die, that's all you lose. You don't lose any of your combat scrolls or achievements or stats unlocked or anything, just the armor, which is simple enough to get on your next run. So at the end of it all, I would give Samurai Bringer a solid 3 out of 5. And don't let that 3 rating fool you. This is a hidden gem. My only hope is that Samurai Bringer is popular enough to warrant a sequel, because the only thing that I think they could step up for the next game would be co-op.